And the founder of BoilingFrogsPost.com, Sibel Edmonds. Theatrical fear of Halloween started in August and will continue well beyond. And the sources of fear are the propaganda around the Islamic State, this threat to life on the planet as we know it, that has caused President Obama to launch airstrikes in Iraq and Syria. Also, domestically, the media, the corporate media, is giving heavy coverage to the Ebola issues, and it also becomes a source of palpable fear in the American public. I don't believe it's coincidental that this is occurring just before the midterm elections in November. And I think that members of both political parties are doing what they can to exploit these fears in an effort to cynically pick up votes. Sibel, let's start with you, because the framing of this monster, the Islamic State, is driven not only by the effective propaganda that they produce, but by the way it is played in the U.S. media and played off by American political leaders who have created this fear and dread that actors from the Islamic State with American or Canadian passports are any moment now about to descend here in the so-called homeland and launch terrorist attacks. There is no evidence of that. The government has offered us conflicting numbers of their estimates of the number of people who might be prone to do that. But with the recent events in Canada and Australia, we see those governments embracing police state new laws in response to what are a series of lone wolf attacks.
Oh, absolutely. I have been lately framing this within marketing paradox of marketing and marketing frame, because you start first with a brand, okay? And we had for 12, 13 years one brand with propaganda and all the mainstream, which are the tentacles of the deep state here, the war machine. Al Qaeda was created. And Al Qaeda brand, if you had been, I know you had been paying attention, but our viewers have been has been losing its effect. In fact, in the past few years, even in some of the mainstream media programs, we have seen people making fun of it, and comedies are being made of Al Qaeda. So that kind of created panic within the deep state, saying that brand is not doing very well. Why don't we rebrand the boogeyman that we created and come up with something else? So first they came up with the brand. And strategically, within this new brand, they inserted the term Islam. And again, that was very well calculated. It was by design. And throw it in there, Islamic State. So, and then you can have other various abbreviation. But one thing that remains constant, that is the Islamic State, okay? And then within just a few months, they have been able to blow up this Islamic State, so-called Islamic State new boogeyman that they created, financing it, training them. We have covered it through Boiling Frogs Post and Corbett Report in terms of what happened in Turkey 3 years ago. And these people were trained, against Assad's regime, etc., armed, directed. So these are our guys. And then we rebranded them and made them call, Islamic State, blah, blah. And then just in the past few months, I've been reading some headlines that are unbelievable, fantastical. In fact, 3 days ago, I just couldn't help myself and I kept tweeting about it. The headline said, based on government calculation, currently this IS business, this cell, is the wealthiest terror organization, the wealthiest terror cell in the world, That's exactly like some startup business that you want to take public. have stocks created for it. You put together, you come up with the logo, you have a brand name, and you kind of market the brand so people keep hearing it. And then you start making this business, ooh, so fantastical. So that's what usually companies do before they go public. So it's very Wall Street like approach, this IS business that they have created here. And it is a business because if you look at the stock prices for the major war industry related corporations, you see how it has gone up together with the creation of the brand IS. And so that is as far as the brand goes. But as far as framing goes, again, I will go back to the brand. Then the word Islam was inserted to it. It was not coincidental. It was not by accident, and it was for a purpose and for desire to achieve certain types of an effect. And unfortunately, we are seeing those effects now around us, and that is the entire Western world putting this within the context, within the frame of Islam. This is what Muslims do. You see a guy there with his shalwar, that he's wearing there, and with that ferocious looking shawl, and he has a big sword and he's beheading. I mean, it's so scary. That's horrible. And I'm not putting that down. I'm not lowering the effect. It's a despicable act. But what they are doing is they are taking this 1, 2, 10, or 15 incidents, casualties, and they are turning it currently to something that is bigger than even what Al Qaeda was. We don't know. There may be millions of these people, or there may be only 25 of them within the cell, but they're the wealthiest terror cell in the world. They can attack us here. They can attack France. They can attack the United Kingdom. Well, I don't know. They have rockets. They have nuclear bombs. They have the briefcase bombs. They have a suitcase bomb. They have chlorine gas, and they have other kind of chemical weapons. Can you imagine how unbelievably fantastical this thing is, that in a few months, you have this entire thing being created and achieving this level? I mean, even Donald Trump would shake his hand. The guy is really famous, and he has done it so many times, going out there and making a business out of nothing, just based on hype. But as far as hype business is concerned, considered this is the height of any hype that I have ever seen. And I'm hoping that today we will discuss this within the context of Islam, and provide our viewers with some other examples and context to make them aware psychologically, mentally, on what this propaganda is geared to do. Because unfortunately, as I mentioned, the deep state, the establishment, they have been achieving the effects, the results that they intended to achieve.